Driving and cab. Law requires the driver and all passengers to wear a seatbelt at all times while travelling. The camper is longer and higher than a standard car, so please be aware of the bigger dimensions and weight when driving. Remember to allow extra space when turning. On the windscreen there are stickers that remind you of the camper height, length and maximum speed allowed when driving. Make sure you are aware of the height of your camper and avoid any low-clearance bridges, car parks and gantries. When you open the passenger side door, you will have access to refill your fuel tank. Make sure you use the correct fuel. This vehicle runs off diesel. Some vehicles have a keyless ignition start. Ensure the keys are close to the ignition start. To start the engine, put your foot on the brake and press the Start button. To turn the engine off, press the Start button again. Some vehicles with keyless ignition feature an Eco Start Stop function. If your model has this Eco Start button underneath the Engine Start Stop button, then you have Eco Start Stop. This is an environmentally conscious feature that switches off the engine when it's not needed, for example, whilst idle at the traffic lights or sitting in heavy traffic. This feature is defaulted to on when you collect the vehicle. It will automatically engage when you come to a complete stop, and the vehicle will start again as soon as you press the accelerator pedal. If you want to turn this feature off, simply press the Eco Start button. Press it again to turn it back on. With a keyless ignition vehicle, the gear shift is on the right of the steering wheel. Pull the arm down to engage drive. The middle position is neutral and the upper position is reverse. To put the vehicle in park, push the button at the end of the gear shift lever. The handbrake will either be a standard push down or a push button. If it has a push button, it is located here. To release the handbrake, lift the button towards you. To engage the handbrake, push the button. The red P light will illuminate on the dash when the handbrake is engaged. Next to the handbrake is the headlight control. To the left side of the steering wheel is the windscreen wiper and indicator arm. If the key is like this, you have a key start ignition. To start the engine, insert the key into the ignition. Make sure your foot is on the brake and engage the gear in park or neutral. Turn the key slowly to the right until all dash lights appear. Wait until the glow light turns off. Turn the key further right and start the engine. If the vehicle doesn't start, turn the key back to the original position. Remove the keys from the ignition, check the gear is in park or neutral, and with your foot on the brake, start the vehicle again. If the vehicle still doesn't start, it may have a flat battery. Contact the on-road care team for further help. If you have keyless ignition, when parking up for the night, ensure the vehicle is in park, P, with the handbrake engaged. Then turn the ignition off. If you have a key start ignition, always remove the key from the ignition when parked up. Do not use the internal walkthrough after switching off the engine. Ensure you exit the vehicle with keys in hand through the driver's side door and lock the driver's cab so the vehicle fully switches off. This will avoid a flat battery in the morning. Some campers with a key start ignition have a collapsible handbrake. If you can move the handbrake freely, it is an engaged, collapsible handbrake. To release the handbrake, bring it to the up position. Lift gently upwards and depress the button at the same time, pushing it back toward the floor. Make sure the handbrake light is off on the dash. If the handle lifts without the ratchet sound, the handbrake is already engaged. Check the handbrake light is illuminated on the dash. To engage the handbrake, lift the handle upwards and listen for the ratchet sound. The handbrake light will appear on the dash. Some campers will have a warning sound if the handbrake is still on when you start to drive. If you hear this, stop the vehicle and check that the handbrake is released. If you have a camper with front swivel seats, the handbrake needs to be down so it doesn't get damaged. Make sure the handbrake is fully engaged before lowering it. Make sure the front cabin air conditioner is set to between 22 and 24 degrees, with a medium speed fan to achieve optimum performance of the unit. Setting it too low may cause the unit to freeze. If an alarm sounds when you start driving, check the power cord is not still connected to the campsite. Check the side step is stored away correctly. Check the handbrake is fully off and you are not driving with your foot on the brake. Some campers are fitted with a reversing camera, which will show on the dash screen when in reverse. Always have someone guiding you when reversing or parking. This camper is fitted with an infotainment system that you can connect your smartphone to via Bluetooth and access phone calls and music. Some systems may also feature GPS navigation to help you travel around with ease. Don't forget to take regular rest breaks. We don't recommend driving at dusk or night. Always remember to have your keys with you when you are outside the camper. On the front key tag are the camper details, and on the back is the phone number for the on-road care team. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they are there if you experience any issues with your vehicle, whether it's mechanical or house-related.